Hello, I'm Bruce Zimmerman, and this is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.
Echinacea. Now, Echinacea, everybody seems to know. There seems to be so much breeding demand for this particular plant. They were originally American natives. They are pollinator magnets, and they really do provide late summer and fall color to the garden. So it's important. Now, some will bloom a little earlier, but basically we'll call it that type of bloom time. Now, they have been crossbred, and we're getting all types of colors and color ranges. Now, with Echinacea, you need to grow them in extremely good porosity soil. They hate heavy clay soils. They like to have a pH of the soil over 5. They need about 13 hours of light a day. That will sort of break the dormancy for flowering. So they may actually grow during the spring and all the way through, but you need that long day in order to get the plant itself to bloom. Most of the time, you will find that you will be able to grow these in the garden. Now, if they seed themselves, the seeds do not come true. You'll get variations, not mainly in height, but you'll get all kinds of different ones. Variations in height, of course. Rate of growth, vigor. And so you're always better to buy the ones that have been divided, etc., that are guaranteed to be true to name. Now, let's start with some of the short, single-flowered Echinacea. Now, the color ranges are getting more and more and wider. The first one I'd like to do is called Chiquita, which should give you an idea of the color, which is yellow. It is a decent yellow. The petals are held almost flat. The center cone, of course, like all of the Echinacea, is sort of that raised orange one that is predominate through the whole range of Echinacea. It is a star performer in the garden. It is hardy to zone 4, loves the sun, attracts hummingbirds and, of course, butterflies. And it blooms and blooms and blooms. It's good for cut flowers, it's deer resistant, and it will tolerate some dryness once established. It's going to be about 12 inches tall. It's going to be about 12 inches wide, and when it's in flower, it'll be about 14 inches high. So, a good one to take a look at. The next one is Satin Nights. Satin Nights is a papaya group from Echinacea. Again, hardy to zone 4, has all the same features. It's going to be about 12 inches high, 15 inches across, and 15 inches high when it's in flower. Satin Nights is that purpley pink that you're so used to with the very darker cone in the center. So it is clean. It will actually drop clean, so you get those dark cones eventually that are quite nice. Now, the flowers themselves are the purpley pink, but they're also up to 4.5 inches across. The next one is Rosita. And Rosita is one you may want to really put into the garden because it is slightly distinctive. And this is something I like. The petals do hang down a little bit, but they start upright. Okay, they're held upright as the flower emerges. The center is almost an orange, very raised. It is clean, it's reliable, it's hardy to zone 4, has all the same things. Again, of course, loves the sun and well-drained soils. The color is very pale, whitish pink. Would be the best way to describe it. It's very compact. It is only up to 18 inches tall. And of course, being 18 inches tall, that's when it's in flower. So you're looking at a plant that is quite genetically dwarf. It is 14 inches high in foliage, 14 inches wide, and 16 to 18 inches tall when it's in flower. So really quite distinctive. It's different, right? We go into the Echinacea Kismet series. Now, this one is an excellent one. It has a very strong overwintering survivability. Extends the blooming time in the garden and is really quite pretty. You want this group because you've got some other slightly different colors in here. There's the Kismet Intense Orange. There is Kismet Raspberry. And typical of all of these, except for the color. And then there's Kismet Yellow, and it's really quite a good strong yellow. And the ball itself has the yellow tones. The raspberry has the raspberry tones on the center cone. And, of course, the orange has the orange center cone. There is also Kismet Red, which is new, and it is even more red than the raspberry. So, again, good plants for the garden that are quite vigorous as well, which I do like. Now, the Dixies is another series of Echinacea. This one has a compact habit. It works well in containers. It has very intense colors, so it's really bright in the garden. Produces many multiple crowns, which of course means that you're going to get more flowers. Dixie Blaze are going to be 16 inches high in foliage, 20 inches across, and 25 inches high when it's in bloom. The Blaze is, of course, a flame orange and golden cones. Quite a pretty one. Stems are dark as well. Dixie Belle is quite a glowing pink. The flower itself is long-lasting. It actually quite literally blooms for months on end, which is another good thing. You just can't get good quality seed from this one. From seed, it has to be divided. Okay? Hardy to zone 4 like most of them. 16-inch high foliage, 20 inches across, and 24 inches tall when it's in bloom. The Echinacea Dixie Scarlet is a velvety scarlet flower. Its bloom is from late spring until early frost. It's compact, being the foliage 16 inches when it's 24 inches wide. And, of course, the flowers are to 24 inches. Again, a good, strong plant that is going to give you a decent color. Dixie Sun is a golden yellow. It will brighten up your garden and contrast well with the others. It's an upright, compact habit. 16 inches of foliage, 20 inches across, and 24 inches tall when it's in bloom. Again, it loves the sun, it attracts hummingbirds and butterflies, and deer resistant, and will, once established, be good for areas of drought. You'll find that these are all considered singles, so you're getting lots of petals. Now, some have more petals than others. To be honest with you, I think the Dixie Sun seems to have more petals, even though they're in the same group, than, let's say, Dixie Blaze or Dixie Belle. So it also means that it's a good type of plant to go and put into your garden. Echinacea Dream Series. This one is for mass landscaping. It's good in pots. It has the single flowers. It blooms and blooms and blooms. Compact, well-branched, strong upright habit, and there are a decent color range. Now, the Amazing Dream is, of course, your deep pink. It is a hardy to zone 4. Has all the same features, the drainage, etc. It is one of the highest rated echinaceas for container use. So if you're going to put it into containers, this is one of the ones that you want to be considering. Echinacea Daydream is in this group, and it is a yellow. Now, it is a smaller yellow or lighter yellow. It's only a mid-sized plant. It's a little softer in its color. It has a nice fragrance to the flowers. Blooms in summer. Right through. Okay. And the fragrance is best when it's in the sunlight in the afternoons, just so you know when and where to place it in the garden. It's going to be 22 inches of foliage, 15 inches across, and 26 inches tall. So that is something. Glowing Dream. This one is, let's put it this one, it's like the Amazing Dream, except that it really has a strong glowing color. It's considered a watermelon coral color that is very intense. It has a good habit, strong blooms, lots of hardiness and aggressiveness, etc., but that has been bred to. 16 inches of foliage, 20 inches across, and 24 inches tall for the bloom time. One of the highest rated container plants is in this series as well. You've got the Amazing Dream, but there is also Tangerine Dream. Now, this one again has 4-inch clear orange flowers, and the petals are overlapping so that it really shows as a good solid flower. It holds the bloom color better longer. It has a honey scent in the flowers, and it has the multiple crowns, etc. So it's going to be really quite good, strong stems, so it is good in the containers. It can also be used as a mass bedding one in the garden as well. All the same features of Echinacea. 14 inches of foliage, 30 inches across. That's what I call aggressive. And 23 inches high. These are just some of the Echinaceas that are out there. They are subtly different in some cases. Some are radically different. And there are a lot more. And we're going to try and cover them so that you can start making your own decisions on which Echinacea to put into your garden that suits and combine, etc., for your condition. So please pay attention. This is the first of the Echinacea podcasts.
I'm Bruce Zimmerman. This is the Open Line Garden Show podcast for this week.